If I could just like hold a stick the whole time. This feels very calendar. Hi, I'm Turvey. I'm a filmmaker born and raised in the UK and now living in Los Angeles. Yeah?
You would never talk to me straight. You would always give out. And you were letting it swap around, oh, killing like a pile. But I was your mouth.
So yeah, my career path into music video direction has happened fairly organically over the past few years. I studied graphic design. I was pretty much raised on like illustration. I would occasionally make films when I was a kid. When my uncle had a video camera, so when he would come to visit my family in Cornwall, I would go off and try and shoot some kind of weird like B-movie horror. But you know, really, I never studied film. So over the past few years and since working in the film industry and working in the music video industry kind of professionally, my focus has been on I guess letting go of the rules of design and transitioning into the medium of film, whilst trying to retain the visual, the voice that I'd created in the design world. So the music video community in both the UK and Los Angeles really, from my experience, seem to mirror each other. There's this universal sense of collaboration that's, I think, as we're all essentially going through the same struggle of like fighting against small budgets, everyone's pushing the medium as far as they can go, and everyone wants each other to succeed. That's really exciting, because I feel like I'm in this completely alien environment, so far away from home, yet everything feels so similar and comfortable in a sense. Growing up in Cornwall, I want to be in a city, but it's important for me to be surrounded by, I guess, dramatic natural environments. It always has been. That's what I'm accustomed to. That's what inspired me as a kid. So, and as I want to create more cinematic work, and I want to really kind of explore film outside of the studio, as a lot of my earlier work is based in studios and based around kind of heavily constructed sets. It feels like an appropriate environment for me to be in. So my design background has definitely played a huge part in my creative process over the years, and had a huge influence in, I guess, the way I approach a music video treatment. In the earlier work, so for example, if I took a project like Cheetahs, which was entirely based around creating this living, breathing set and then placing the artist within that, very minimal performance from the artist. The set essentially told the story and just kind of cocooned him. Now my process has completely shifted over the years, as I've really tried to relinquish control of the design aspect of my work and then focus more on the performance. The artist's performance was completely out of my control, as I created an environment that they inhabited, and they were unaware entirely of of what they were about to see on the day of the shoot. So they essentially enter a black room, their instruments in front of them, they play, they perform, they react however they want to. It's just one take, and I cover that. But what they're seeing is something I've created for them. It's an environment I've created for them.
In the darkened house of love, I felt like
we're both they're giving me their performance without any direction, and I'm giving them the environment to perform in without any, I guess, control or comments from their side. So it's or any creative direction from their side. So that was a really interesting way of balancing the two. Recently I directed a video for an artist called Twin Shadow for a track called Turn Me Up.
You got my heart straight pulling in the wrong direction.
That was quite a key point in my music video career, I guess, in the sense that as this video entirely focused on George Lewis Jr.'s performance and nothing else really. You know, the whole video is based around the idea of stripping George back to his I get the rawest representation of himself, and that's done through using reflection and lots of in-camera techniques that do relate back to techniques that I have developed through previous videos, more experimental videos and more art-led videos, but I appropriated these to the performance itself and used them just to support the performance.
And she is he, and she is me, and she is me.
With, I think, my most recent project, He, She, Me, which is a music video / fashion film for Selfridges, which I collaborated with a director called Catherine Ferguson on. We commissioned the actual track for that piece, but also what was, I think, the most important thing about that video was that we were focusing entirely on the cast. Like the human element to that video is so it's the core of everything of the message behind that video. So essentially we are focusing on Hari Nef as she enters this world that's completely inhabited by these incredible individuals, and the direction we gave them was so minimal. We just lay out a path for them. There are elements of design in there, the design that I guess there are small signatures within that world, that environment, that could relate back to my earlier work, but it is almost just decoration, and it's so minimal compared to the way I'd approached the project before. This is entirely driven by human performance, and that for me was so exciting to just be part of, because we shot that as a one shot, and it was almost like creating a theatre piece where we'd sit back and just watch the monitor and watch each take without any feedback, and then afterwards feedback. But it was just this thrilling experience to let go completely of the structured, storyboarded process that I'm familiar with, and rely entirely on what the performers were giving us as you transition through these different people and different situations and vignettes.